Good morning, students. So let's start with today's biology class. In the previous session we have discussed about kingdom Monera, and today we will start with the next kingdom of five kingdom system of classification, that is kingdom Protista. So next kingdom is kingdom Protista. So it is a unicellular eukaryote, means the organisms in this kingdom are eukaryotic. As we have discussed in the previous kingdom Monera, the organisms were prokaryotic, but now with the evolution the organism has now become eukaryotic. मैंने आपको बताया था जैसे जैसे हम किंगडम में आगे मूव करते जाएंगे कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इम्प्रूव होती जाएगी. तो इसमें क्या है, ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो है वो यूकैरियोटिक है, बट दे आर स्टिल यूनिसेल्युलर, मीन्स they are much complex than Monera, but they are still unicellular eukaryotic. Now if we'll see their habitat or occurrence, so they are mostly aquatic organisms, so they are found in water. So they can be either in the sea water, fresh water or moist soil. One more important point, when we move from first kingdom to last kingdom and when we study evolution, then you will find that the organisms from the first kingdom are aquatic, and as we move towards the kingdom Animalia, the organism will start moving towards the terrestrial habitat. So the lower organisms are always aquatic. Next is the structure. As you know that it is a eukaryotic organism, so they have a well defined nucleus with the cell organelles. Cell wall is also present, and in some cases a shell is also present. When we will study in detail, then you will find the examples. Next is locomotion. How do they move? So there can be either pseudopodial, flagellar or ciliary. So pseudopodial is with the help of pseudopodia. The best example is amoeba. So you know that amoeba, it forms pseudopodia, and with the help of this pseudopodia they will move. Next is the kingdom flagellar. The second movement is flagellar, according to which the organism will move with the help of flagella. Okay, so flagella is, you know, if this is an organism and this is a single thread like structure present over the surface, then it is called flagella, and with this flagella they will move by undulatory movement. Example is Gonolaps and Euglena. So these are the two examples. Next is ciliary. Ciliary is with the help of cilia. So you know the difference between flagella and cilia. Flagella is a single thread like structure present. They can be more than 1, 2 or 4, 3 or 4. But cilia are the small hair like projections which are present over the surface of the organism. For example, in case of Paramecium. So with the help of cilia they will move. Next is the type of nutrition or the mode of nutrition. It can be either photosynthetic or heterotrophic. Photosynthetic, when they prepare their food with the help of chlorophyll or sunlight, and heterotrophic is when it can be either saprophytic or parasitic, means they can be live as saprophytes or can as parasites. So on the basis of their mode of nutrition we have 4 types of protistian which we are going to study. So let's see the various types of protista that we are going to study in this kingdom. So let's see the major group of protists that we are going to study in this kingdom. So majorly we have divided into 3 parts: photosynthetic, consumer decomposer and protozoans. So photosynthetic are those which will do photosynthesis as a mode of nutrition. Consumer decomposers are those which will show the process of decomposition, means they have heterotrophic mode of nutrition, basically saprophytic mode of nutrition. And the last one is protozoan, on the basis of their movement. How do they move? On the basis of this we have divided into these 4 parts. So photosynthetic will include 4 dinoflagellates, chrysophytes and euglenoids. Consumer decomposer will include slime molds, and protozoans will further be divided into 4 groups: flagellated, amoeboid, sporozoans and ciliated, on the basis of their movement. How do they move? So these are the major groups of protista which we are going to study in this chapter. So let's start with the dinoflagellates first. So the first protista that we are going to study is dinoflagellates. So as the name is saying, dinoflagellates means they have two flagella and they are also act as phytoplanktons. Planktons are small plant-like organisms which are found in water, so they have a aquatic habitat. As why they are called small, you can say the plant-like organisms, because they are photosynthetic. That is why they are called phytoplankton. And they are aquatic, found in sea water, fresh water. One important point is that they can be of different color depending upon the colored pigment present in them. They can be either yellow, green, brown, blue, red. Okay, and according to that, if their number is more, if their number is increased in a particular water species or water body, they will give that specific color to that water body. For example, I will give you one example here. They are unicellular and they are motile because they can move with the help of flagella, and unicellular because they are made up of single cell and eukaryotic. Their cells are covered with a thick coat called theca. तो जो इसके सेल्स होते हैं, जो ये पूरा एक स्ट्रक्चर मैंने शो किया है, तो इसके ऊपर इस तरह से थिक कोट होते हैं, स्कल्पचर्ड स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं, विच इज़ कॉल्ड थीका. जैसे अगर हम इमेजिन करें एक फुटबॉल को इमेजिन करते हैं, ठीक है, उसके ऊपर इस तरह से हेक्सागोनल शेप्स बने होते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो इनके ऊपर एक इस तरह से स्कल्पचर्स बने होते हैं, और ये जो थिक कोट होता है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, थीका. एंड द स्कल्पचर्स प्लेट्स आर मेड अप ऑफ सेलुलोज. Next is most of them has two flagella. So they have two flagella, one is longitudinal and one is transverse. So I have shown one example of a dinoflagellate. So this is its structure. They have a theca outside and between this there is a groove present which is called furrow. तो ये जो बीच में groove दिख रहा है इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, furrow. So one flagella is longitudinal, which is you can see here, and the other one is present in the furrow, which is the transverse one, and with the help of this flagella they move. The most important example of dinoflagellate is Gonolax. It is a red colored dinoflagellate and it is found in sea water, and this dinoflagellate multiply very fast, very rapidly, due to which it provides red color to the sea, and we can see the red tides. Okay, so this is the example of a red dinoflagellate. Some dinoflagellates, they release toxins also, and they may kill the other aquatic organisms present in the water like fishes and all. Okay, so this is all about dinoflagellates. Let's see the next group. The next group of protista is chrysophytes. They are also photosynthetic, and in this we are going to study diatoms and desmites. Basically these are called as diatoms, and desmites are actually golden algae. Why do we call it as algae? Because they are photosynthetic. Otherwise algae or thallophyta is another group which we place in the kingdom Plantae, but they can be considered as algae because they are just a link between, you can say, the kingdom Monera and kingdom other kingdoms like fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Okay, and it is photosynthetic, that is why it is considered to be as an algae. So diatoms are found in aquatic habitat and moist soil. अगर हम terrestrial की बात करें तो ये moist soil में मिलते हैं, otherwise they are completely aquatic. Their structure, if you will see, they are covered with a siliceous covering which do not decay easily. If you will find the structure of a diatom, you will see it like this, a soap case. जिस तरह से एक soap case होता है ना, जैसे इस तरह से जो open और close हो जाता है, it is like this. Okay, so these are the two hard coverings which is made up of silica, means these are the siliceous covering, and these siliceous coverings are in the form of two valves. जैसे valves होते हैं इस तरह से open close हो जाते हैं. So this is the siliceous coverings which is present in the diatoms. Now the most important point is that this siliceous covering will not allow these diatoms to undergo decomposition. So these diatoms, they never decompose, they never undergo decay. when they died they just collected at the bottom of the water reservoir. जिस वाटर के अंदर ये होते हैं, जब ये किल हो जाते हैं, डेड हो जाते हैं, तो ये वाटर के नीचे ही बॉटम पे इकट्ठे होने स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि ये डिकम्पोज नहीं हो पाते सिलिका कवरिंग की वजह से. ओके, एंड दे विल फॉर्म अ हीप और पाइल ऑफ अ सिलिशियस कवरिंग और सिलिशियस हीप विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज डाईएटोमाइट और डाईएटोमेशियस अर्थ. सो दिस इज़ कॉल्ड एज डाईएटोमेशियस अर्थ. तो ये एक सॉइल की तरह से कवरिंग पाउडर लाइक होता है विच इज़ जस्ट कलेक्टेड एट द बॉटम ऑफ द रिजर्वायर, वाटर रिजर्वायर, एंड कैन बी देन डिग आउट और can be mine out. Okay, so this is very important point of this diatoms. Next point is they are microscopic, obviously, because they are small, means they are the lower kingdom, and they do not possess flagella. Important point is in the first group the dinoflagellates, they were flagellated. They are non-flagellated because they are non-motile. वो कहीं मूव नहीं करते, अपने प्लेस पे रहते हैं और डेड होने के बाद बॉटम पे इकट्ठे होते रहते हैं और डायटोमेशियस अर्थ को बना देते हैं. And these are the chief producers in the ocean. Very important point. As we have discussed, all these protistans which are included in the photosynthetic protista are called phytoplanktons because they act as a aquatic plants, small plants which are microscopic, which is means because they are photosynthetic, that is why they are considered as algae or plants. The chief producers in the oceans are these diatoms. तो ओशंस के अंदर जो सबसे ज़्यादा फोटोसिंथेसिस करते हैं वो कौन होते हैं? डायटम्स. इकोनॉमिक इम्पॉर्टेंस, इफ यू विल सी दैट द सॉइल हैविंग these diatoms or diatomaceous earth can be used in polishing, infiltration of oils और syrups. तो ये क्या है, इसका इकोनॉमिक इम्पॉर्टेंस है, बिकॉज जिस सॉइल के अंदर ये मिक्स होते हैं वो ग्रिटी नेचर की हो जाती है, जिसकी वजह से इसको हम पॉलिशिंग के लिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, फिल्ट्रेशन के लिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट क्रीसोफाइट्स. लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट ग्रुप. सो नेक्स्ट ग्रुप ऑफ किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा इज यूग्लिनॉइड्स. दे आर ऑल्सो फोटोसिंथेटिक टाइप, यूनिसेल्युलर फ्लैजिलेटेड phytoplanktons. So they are also microscopic phytoplanktons because they are small plant-like organisms and perform photosynthesis. Aquatic in nature, found in fresh water or in damp soil or moist soil. Then cell wall is absent, so they have a thin flexible outer covering which is called pellicle. So this is a thin flexible membrane like covering which is called pellicle. They have two flagella, the longer one and the shorter one. Okay, so they move with the help of flagella. Next is they are the very interesting point is that they are photosynthetic, but in absence of sunlight they become heterotrophic. If sunlight is not present, then they start acting as predators. Means जहाँ पे ये रहते हैं जिस वाटर में, वहाँ पे जो और small microscopic other organisms होते हैं उनको फीड करना ही शुरू कर देते हैं. ठीक है, तो they are photosynthetic, but in the absence of sunlight they act as heterotrophic, means heterotrophs. Then the pigments present in the euglenoids are also same as present in the plants. As I told you, they are photosynthetic and they are also considered to be algae because they are photosynthetic in nature. But if we talk about euglenoids, they have the same pigments which are present in the plants like carotenoids, chlorophyll and all, which is similar to that of the plants, which tell us that they are the link between the kingdom Plantae and kingdom Monera. We have fungi also in between because we have some organisms which do not match with either of the plant or either not with the plants and not with the protista. So that is why we have kept into another group, that is fungi. Otherwise the Monera or euglenoids or photosynthetic protists are a connection between, a link between Monera and plants. Okay, so this is all about euglenoids. Let's see the next group.